Introduction: Shadows of Destiny. In the quiet hamlet of Crestwood, where the rhythm of life echoed a tranquil melody, the Harper family resided in a quaint home, blissfully unaware that the serenity surrounding them was about to be shattered. John Harper, an unassuming man with a heart full of warmth and a family to cherish, found himself thrust into a harrowing tale that transcended the ordinary boundaries of his suburban existence. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the idyllic town, a mysterious undercurrent began to weave its way into the fabric of the Harper family's life. Little did John know that a destiny, draped in shadows darker than the night itself, was slowly unfurling, poised to alter the course of their lives forever. The tale that follows is not one of whimsical fantasy or fanciful fiction. It is a narrative steeped in the realism of the human experience. There are no mythical creatures, no magical realms, only the haunting truths that lurk in the recesses of familial ties and the unpredictable turns of destiny. Chapter by chapter, unraveling the mystery. In the ensuing chapters, we will traverse through the layers of this poignant and suspenseful narrative, witnessing the unraveling of a mystery that stretches its tentacles into the very heart of the Harper family. Each revelation will peel back the layers of normalcy, exposing the raw nerves of human emotions and the fragility of the bonds that hold a family together. From the unsettling beginning, where the first whispers of the impending tragedy stir the calm surface of their lives, to the final resolution that beckons a new dawn, this story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. It explores the depths of despair, the challenges of facing harsh realities, and the enduring power of hope in the face of overwhelming darkness. An ordinary man, an extraordinary journey. John Harper, the unsuspecting protagonist, will transform before our eyes, from a simple man leading an ordinary life to an indomitable force, determined to navigate the labyrinth of secrets and shadows that threaten to consume everything he holds dear. His quest for truth will transcend the boundaries of personal gain, driven by an innate sense of justice and a love that refuses to waver even in the face of tragedy. Prepare to embark on a journey that will tug at your heartstrings, evoke empathy, and challenge your perception of resilience. Shadows of Destiny is not merely a detective novel, it is a testament to the indomitable human spirit, and the enduring strength of familial bonds when faced with the harshest tests of fate. As we step into the enigmatic world of Crestwood, be prepared to confront the profound and often painful realities that lie beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary lives. The shadows are about to reveal their secrets, and the destiny of the Harper family will unfold in ways that are both tragic and transformative.
Chapter 1: The Unsettling Beginning. Crestwood, a town where the days unfolded with a quiet predictability, was a haven of tranquility for John Harper and his loving family. John, a middle-aged man with salt and pepper hair and a heartwarming smile, had embraced the rhythm of life in this serene community. With his wife, Sarah, and their two children, Emily and Michael, the Harpers reveled in the simplicity of their everyday existence. The story begins on an unassuming morning in Crestwood, a day much like any other. The sun painted the sky with hues of soft oranges and pinks, signaling the start of another ordinary day in the lives of the Harper family. Little did they know that the threads of destiny were quietly weaving a tapestry of unforeseen events that would soon entangle their lives in ways they could never have imagined. John, a dedicated employee at the local hardware store, embarked on his routine with a sense of comfort derived from the familiar. The creaking floorboards of their cozy home, the aroma of Sarah's coffee wafting through the air, and the laughter of his children echoing in the halls, these were the constants that defined the simplicity and joy of John's life. However, as the day unfolded, subtle anomalies began to ripple through the fabric of their routine. A peculiar hush descended upon the town, almost as if nature itself held its breath in anticipation. John, typically attuned to the nuances of his surroundings, couldn't shake off the feeling that an invisible force lingered in the air, an ominous cloud casting shadows over the placid canvas of his existence. The hardware store, where John spent his days assisting customers with their home improvement needs, seemed unusually quiet. Conversations held a whispered quality, and glances exchanged between neighbors carried a weight of unspoken apprehension. It was as if the very atmosphere conspired to convey a message to John, a message he couldn't decipher but one that left him with a growing sense of disquiet. Returning home that evening, the comforting routine of family dinner was punctuated by a subtle tension. Sarah, typically the epitome of poise, exchanged furtive glances with John, a silent acknowledgement that something had shifted in their world. The children, perceptive in their own right, picked up on the undercurrent of unease, casting curious looks between their parents. As the night draped Crestwood in its inky embrace, John lay in bed, restlessness gnawing at him. The quiet town, once a sanctuary of familiarity, now seemed draped in an unfamiliar shroud. Little did he know that this seemingly ordinary day marked the prologue to a tale of mystery and tragedy, a story that would unravel the very fabric of his existence, forever altering the trajectory of his family's life. The unsettling beginning had taken root, casting the first shadows over a once peaceful existence, and John Harper stood unknowingly at the threshold of a journey into the unknown.
Chapter 2: A Family in Peril. In the wake of that unsettling beginning, Crestwood transformed from a tranquil haven into an enigmatic labyrinth, and John Harper found himself at the epicenter of a storm that threatened to dismantle the very foundations of his family. As the days unfolded, a series of revelations would lead him down a path of discovery, exposing the fragile strands that held their lives together. John's initial sense of disquiet escalated into a relentless pursuit for the truth, driven by an instinctual need to shield his family from the impending storm. What had once seemed like routine occurrences in Crestwood now took on a sinister undertone, and John's quest for clarity became an urgent mission to unravel the web of secrets that had ensnared his family. The hardware store, once a familiar sanctuary, transformed into a nexus of rumors and hushed conversations. Neighbors exchanged furtive glances as John passed, their eyes betraying a knowledge they were unwilling to share. The air crackled with tension, and John felt the weight of the unspoken pressing down on him like a leaden cloud. At home, the once warm and comforting atmosphere had frayed at the edges. Sarah, usually the pillar of strength, wore an expression of concern that mirrored John's own internal turmoil. As Emily and Michael picked up on the palpable unease, their laughter became muted, and the familial bonds that once felt unbreakable began to strain under the weight of undisclosed peril. It wasn't long before John's investigation led him to a revelation that would shake the very core of his understanding. A series of cryptic messages, hidden in the folds of seemingly mundane occurrences, hinted at a past he had been oblivious to, a past that now threatened the safety he had taken for granted. The sense of security that had enveloped the Harper family like a comforting embrace shattered, leaving behind shards of uncertainty that cut through the fabric of their once idyllic life. Caught in a perplexing situation, John grappled with the realization that the dangers lurking in the shadows were not just external but had infiltrated the sanctuary of his home.
The bond between family members, once thought unassailable, was tested as the tendrils of deception tightened their grip. Trust, a bedrock of familial relationships, wavered like a fragile reed in the face of the unknown. As the web of secrets unraveled, the sense of peril intensified. Crestwood, once a picture-perfect backdrop, now bore witness to the quiet turmoil within the Harper household. John found himself standing at a crossroads, torn between shielding his family from the harsh truths and confronting the ominous forces that threatened to unravel everything they held dear. In the heart of this unfolding mystery, the realization dawned on John Harper that the safety and security he had cherished were but illusions, and the journey to safeguard his family had only just begun. The echoes of danger reverberated through Crestwood, casting a shadow that stretched far beyond the visible horizon.
Chapter 3: Dark Whispers. The tendrils of mystery tightened around John Harper, pulling him deeper into the labyrinth of secrets that shrouded Crestwood. As he delved further into the intricacies of the enigma, dark whispers began to surface, sending shivers down his spine. The once quiet town seemed to echo with the haunting voices of concealed truths, and John found himself navigating a shadowy realm that threatened to consume him. With each passing day, John became increasingly entangled in a web of cryptic clues and unsettling revelations. The hardware store, once a bastion of normalcy, became a nexus of clandestine information, as customers exchanged hushed conversations in corners, casting furtive glances at the man who dared to unearth the town's long-buried secrets. A chance discovery led John to a series of faded photographs and dusty records hidden in the town's archives. These relics of the past whispered of a history he had never known, an intricate tapestry of events that cast his family's tragic fate in an entirely new light. The realization dawned on him that the shadows encroaching upon his life were not merely random occurrences, but threads intricately woven into the fabric of Crestwood's history. As he meticulously unraveled the threads of the enigma, John unearthed long-buried family secrets and connections that stretched back through generations. Faces from the past stared back at him from sepia-toned photographs, their haunted expressions hinting at a history fraught with tragedy and untold sorrows. The dark whispers that reverberated through the town held clues to a lineage marked by shadowy dealings and mysterious alliances. In his pursuit of truth, John uncovered a long-forgotten tragedy that echoed through the ages, intertwining the destinies of his forebears with the present. The realization hit him like a sudden gust of cold wind, chilling him to the bone. The specter of a past he never knew existed cast its shadow over his family's present, and he stood at the crossroads of an intricate dance between history and fate. The more John discovered, the more he grappled with the weight of this newfound knowledge. The echoes of sorrow and loss permeated the air, and he found himself standing on the precipice of a revelation that would redefine the narrative of his family's existence. Crestwood, once a backdrop to the everyday, transformed into a haunting tableau of interconnected lives, and John's journey into the heart of darkness had only just begun. As dark whispers continued to echo through the town, John Harper, now an unwitting detective of his family's past, faced a chilling realization. The tragedy that befell his loved ones was not an isolated incident but part of a broader narrative, and the shadows he sought to dispel only deepened the complexity of the mystery. In the silence of Crestwood, the weight of untold secrets pressed upon him,
urging him forward into a realm where every step revealed not only the dark truths of the past but also the inexorable ties that bound his family to a fate beyond their control.
Chapter 4: The Detective's Quest. Fueled by an unrelenting determination to unravel the enigma that gripped Crestwood, John Harper made a life-altering decision. In the wake of the dark whispers and haunting revelations, he resolved to become the detective of his family's fate. Armed with nothing but his sheer perseverance and an unwavering desire for justice, John embarked on a quest that would lead him through the labyrinth of deception, casting himself as the unwilling protagonist in a real-life detective novel. The hardware store, once a place of mundane transactions, transformed into John's makeshift headquarters. Clippings of old newspaper articles, tattered maps, and scribbled notes adorned the walls as he methodically pieced together the fragments of the puzzle that had consumed his existence. Determination etched lines of resolve on his face as he delved into the depths of the town's history, his mission clear: untangle the knots of deception and expose the truth that lay hidden in the shadows. Armed only with the tools of a relentless investigator, John traversed the winding streets of Crestwood, questioning neighbors, poring over historical records, and following the trail of whispers that clung to the town's very air. Every lead, no matter how faint, became a lifeline in his quest to unearth the buried secrets that bound his family's fate to the clandestine history of the town. The once idyllic town now bore the footprints of John's determined pursuit. Conversations held in hushed tones echoed in the narrow alleys, and the townsfolk observed with a mix of curiosity and trepidation as John pieced together the jigsaw puzzle of his family's past. The detective within him emerged, a tenacious force unyielding in the face of the mystery that gripped Crestwood. Late nights turned into early mornings as John immersed himself in the details of his investigation. Sleep became a fleeting luxury, replaced by a relentless drive to expose the truth that lurked in the shadows. The quest consumed him, the lines between day and night blurring as he followed the breadcrumb trail of clues that led him deeper into the heart of the mystery. The more John uncovered, the clearer the portrait of his family's entanglement became. Every revelation was a step closer to understanding the intricate connections that bound the past and present. Yet, with each answer, new questions arose, pushing him further down the rabbit hole of deception. The town, once an open book, now held its secrets tightly, resisting the detective's relentless pursuit. As John Harper navigated the twists and turns of his self-imposed detective work, the weight of responsibility bore down on him. The quest for truth was not only a personal odyssey, but a journey that held the potential to free Crestwood from the shackles of its concealed history. With each passing day, John's determination grew, propelling him forward into the heart of the mystery, where the keys to his family's fate awaited discovery. The detective's quest had just begun, and Crestwood, a town veiled in mystery, held its breath as one man sought to unearth the truths that lay buried in its murky past.
Chapter 5: Clues in the Shadows. As John Harper pressed further into the heart of Crestwood's mysteries, the path he treaded became increasingly treacherous. The detective's quest was no leisurely stroll but a relentless journey into the shadows, where every step forward seemed to unveil new layers of the enigma that clung to his family's history. Cryptic clues, like breadcrumbs scattered in the labyrinth of the town's past, became the markers of John's pursuit. Each lead presented its own set of challenges, as if the very fabric of Crestwood resisted the exposure of its long-buried secrets. John faced a myriad of obstacles, from skeptical townsfolk guarding their own fragments of the truth to elusive records that seemed to slip through his fingers like sand. The hardware store, now a nexus of investigation, bore witness to John's tireless efforts. Maps, newspaper clippings, and photographs adorned the walls, a visual representation of the intricate web he sought to untangle. The whispers that once lingered in the air grew louder, echoing through the narrow aisles as he pieced together the fragments of his family's past. The town, once a canvas of simplicity, revealed its hidden complexities as John unearthed layer upon layer of the tragedy that had befallen his loved ones. Shadows danced along the edges of his perception, teasing him with glimpses of the truth that remained just beyond reach. Crestwood, it seemed, held its secrets close, testing the detective's resolve at every turn. The journey into the shadows was not without its emotional toll. Each revelation painted a more intricate and heartbreaking picture of the tragedy that had scarred the Harper family. The weight of their shared history bore down on John's shoulders, and the lines etched on his face deepened with every unveiled secret. Yet, fueled by an unyielding determination and a profound love for his family, he pressed on. The townsfolk, initially hesitant to divulge their own pieces of the puzzle, began to succumb to the persistent sincerity in John's eyes. As trust was built, the shadows that clung to their collective memory began to dissipate. Each conversation, no matter how uncomfortable, brought him closer to the elusive truth that lay at the heart of the mystery. The clues, like fractured pieces of a shattered mirror, reflected a poignant narrative of a past marked by tragedy, deception, and the unbreakable bonds of family. John discovered connections that stretched far beyond his own lineage, weaving a tapestry of shared sorrows that bound Crestwood's residents in a silent pact of remembrance. With every revelation, Crestwood transformed from a picturesque town into a repository of collective memories, its shadows whispering tales of the intertwined destinies that had shaped its history. John's journey, though fraught with challenges, became a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. As he followed the clues deeper into the shadows, he not only unraveled the mysteries that haunted his family but also illuminated the shared history that had long been obscured by the veils of time and secrecy. The detective's quest, far from over, continued to illuminate the hidden recesses of Crestwood's past, bringing to light the threads that connected its residents in a poignant dance with destiny.
Chapter 6: Family Ties Tested. As John Harper delved deeper into the shadows of Crestwood's history, the very fabric of his once unbreakable family bonds faced the crucible of the investigation. Trust, the cornerstone of their relationships, wavered like a fragile flame in the face of the mystery that loomed over their lives. Emotions ran high, and the weight of the unspoken strained the ties that had once bound the Harpers together, putting their unity to the ultimate test. The hardware store, once a bustling center of familial camaraderie, now stood as a reflection of the fractures within the Harper family. John's relentless pursuit of the truth consumed his days and nights, leaving little room for the warmth and laughter that had once echoed through their home. As the investigation intensified, the once shared space of the store became a silent witness to the growing chasm between family members. Sarah, who had been John's unwavering support, found herself caught in the crossfire of his relentless determination. The lines etched on her face mirrored the concern that deepened with each passing day. The children, Emily and Michael, struggled to comprehend the emotional turmoil that clouded their once stable world. Their father's preoccupation with the mystery left them feeling adrift in a sea of uncertainty, yearning for the familiar reassurances that had characterized their family life. Trust, a fragile thread that bound the Harpers together, began to fray as John's investigation ventured into the more sensitive corners of their shared history. The revelation of family secrets, long kept in the shadows, cast a stark light on vulnerabilities that had long been concealed. Sarah, harboring her own fears and uncertainties, questioned the wisdom of unearthing the past, while John, driven by a relentless sense of duty, forged ahead with an urgency bordering on obsession. Conversations that were once easy and open became strained, laden with unspoken tension. The specter of the investigation loomed over family dinners, casting a pallor over the joyous moments that had once defined their evenings. It was a race against time, not only to solve the mystery but also to salvage the remnants of the once unassailable connection that defined the Harper family. As emotions reached a crescendo, John found himself at a crossroads. The very quest he had undertaken to protect his family had inadvertently strained the bonds he sought to preserve. It became a delicate balancing act between unraveling the mystery and maintaining the emotional sanctity of his family life. The weight of responsibility pressed heavily upon him, and he grappled with the consequences of his choices. In this chapter, the narrative unfolded as a poignant exploration of the fragility of family ties when confronted with the storms of uncertainty. The Harpers, once a bastion of stability, faced a reckoning that demanded resilience and understanding. The reader, now immersed in the complex interplay of emotions, witnessed the transformative power of familial love and the enduring strength required to navigate the challenges that threatened to unravel the very fabric of the Harper family.
Chapter 7: The Pinnacle of Despair. In the relentless pursuit of truth, John Harper ascended to the pinnacle of his investigation, where the veils of mystery were finally lifted to reveal the raw, unfiltered truth that had long eluded him. Crestwood, once a picturesque backdrop, transformed into a stage where the true magnitude of the tragedy unfolded before him, casting a shadow that stretched far beyond the visible horizon. As John unraveled the last strands of the mystery, the gravity of the situation bore down on him with an almost tangible weight. The hardware store, which had become his makeshift headquarters, was now a sanctuary of revelation, its walls echoing with the whispered echoes of a past that held the key to the Harper family's fate. The clues, painstakingly pieced together, led him to the heart of a story marked by betrayal, sorrow, and the inexorable dance between destiny and human choices. The revelations, like a series of gut punches, forced John to confront the harsh realities of life. The faces of his ancestors, captured in faded photographs, told a tale of sacrifices and losses that resonated through the generations. The tragedy that had befallen the Harpers was not an isolated incident but part of a broader narrative that had played out over decades, intertwining their destinies with the silent sorrows of Crestwood's past. In this chapter, the reader was drawn into the emotional maelstrom that gripped John Harper as he stood at the precipice of despair. The weight of untold secrets, the burdens of a shared history, and the realization of how fragile life could be left him grappling with a profound sense of sorrow. The once serene town, now stripped of its illusions, revealed the stark realities that lay beneath its facade. The pinnacle of despair became a crucible in which John's character was tested. His pursuit of justice and truth, once fueled by determination, now echoed with the somber notes of acceptance. The mysteries that had gripped Crestwood and the Harper family were no longer confined to the shadows, they stood exposed, stark against the backdrop of a life forever altered. As the narrative unfolded, the reader bore witness to John's internal struggle. The emotions that swirled within him, grief, regret, and a haunting sense of inevitability, formed the emotional core of this chapter. The once stoic detective, now laid bare before the weight of the truth, grappled with the implications of his discoveries and the toll they had taken on his family and himself. In the Pinnacle of Despair, Crestwood stood as a metaphor for the complexities of life. The reader, entangled in the emotional tapestry woven by the narrative, experienced the catharsis that accompanied John's journey. It was not merely a revelation of facts, but a poignant exploration of the human condition, where despair and sorrow became the crucible in which resilience and understanding were forged. The chapter unfolded as a testament to the transformative power of confronting the truth, even when it led to the depths of despair.
Chapter 8: Redemption Beckons. As John Harper stood at the precipice of despair, weighed down by the profound sorrow of the truths he had unearthed, a flicker of hope emerged like a distant beacon in the darkness. In this pivotal chapter, the narrative pivoted from the depths of sorrow to the possibility of redemption. With the truth laid bare before him, John embarked on a courageous journey toward healing and closure for his family, confronting challenges that demanded unwavering resilience. The hardware store, once a bastion of investigation and revelation, became a sanctuary where John grappled with the emotional aftermath of his discoveries. The shadows that had clung to Crestwood's past were dispelled, and the stark reality of the Harper family's history lay exposed. Now, armed with the truth, John faced the daunting task of rebuilding the shattered pieces of his family's life. Redemption, like a distant shore, beckoned John with the promise of healing. The journey, however, was not without its obstacles. The wounds inflicted by the revelations ran deep, and the scars of the past lingered in the corners of his family's relationships. Sarah, Emily, and Michael, each burdened by their own reactions to the truth, stood at the crossroads of acceptance and forgiveness. The chapter unfolded as a delicate dance between despair and the glimmer of redemption. John's character evolved as he confronted his own vulnerabilities, acknowledging the mistakes of the past and the toll they had taken on those he loved. Redemption was not a swift resolution, but a gradual process, requiring patience, understanding, and a profound willingness to confront the complexities of the human experience. The town, too, played a role in this chapter of redemption. Crestwood, having witnessed the unfolding drama, now stood as a silent witness to the healing process. The community, once guarded by the veils of secrecy, became a collective force in supporting the Harpers on their journey towards redemption. Neighbors extended hands of empathy, understanding that the scars of the past were not limited to a single family but intertwined with the shared history of Crestwood itself. Courage became the currency of redemption, and John found himself drawing from reservoirs he never knew existed. It was a courageous confrontation with the shadows of the past, a commitment to facing the consequences of long-buried secrets, and an unwavering resolve to rebuild what had been broken. The hardware store, once a symbol of investigation, now transformed into a haven where the process of redemption unfolded, a place where the Harper family, bruised but not broken, began the journey toward a new beginning. In this chapter, the narrative painted a nuanced portrait of redemption, illustrating its slow and deliberate nature. The reader was invited to witness the complexities of healing, acknowledging that redemption was not a panacea but a transformative journey that demanded introspection, forgiveness, and the resilience to confront the scars of the past. As the Harpers faced the challenges that lay ahead, the promise of redemption shimmered on the horizon, inviting the reader to partake in the cathartic process of healing and renewal.
Chapter 9: A New Beginning. As the final chapter unfolded, the dust of the tumultuous journey began to settle over Crestwood. John Harper, once entangled in the web of mystery and shadows, stood with his family amidst the echoes of the past. Scarred but undeniably stronger, they faced the promise of a new beginning, a chapter that held the potential for healing and rebuilding. The hardware store, which had borne witness to the highs and lows of the Harper family's odyssey, became a symbol of resilience. The walls, once adorned with maps and clues, now whispered of a transformative journey, a journey that had led them through the darkest recesses of their shared history and brought them to the threshold of renewal. With the mystery finally solved, the weight that had burdened the Harpers began to lift. The revelations, once a source of sorrow and despair, now provided a foundation for understanding and acceptance. John, having faced the harsh realities of the past, emerged not only as a detective but as a symbol of the indomitable human spirit, a spirit capable of confronting unimaginable tragedy and emerging on the other side with newfound strength. The scars, both physical and emotional, became badges of resilience. Sarah, once the pillar of strength, found solace in the unwavering support of her family. Emily and Michael, who had weathered the storm of revelations, demonstrated a resilience that surpassed their years. The family unit, though forever changed, stood as a testament to the enduring power of love and unity. As the dust settled, Crestwood itself seemed to exhale a collective breath. The shadows that had haunted the town were dispelled, and a newfound sense of community emerged from the shared experience. Neighbors, once bound by the unspoken pact of secrecy, now found common ground in the process of healing, recognizing that redemption was not an isolated journey but a collective endeavor. The final chapter unfolded as a powerful testament to the strength of the human spirit. It was a narrative that celebrated not only the resolution of the mystery but also the resilience of a family in the face of unimaginable tragedy. The wounds, though not forgotten, became a canvas for a new beginning, a beginning marked by understanding, forgiveness, and the unwavering commitment to rebuilding what had been fractured. In this concluding chapter, the reader witnessed the Harpers turning the page on a tumultuous chapter of their lives. The hardware store, once a focal point of investigation, now stood as a symbol of transformation, a place where the past met the present, and a family emerged from the crucible of adversity stronger and more connected than ever before. As the story came to a close, Crestwood, the once quiet town marred by shadows, became a backdrop for a hopeful tomorrow. The narrative echoed with the universal truth that, even in the face of the darkest mysteries and most profound tragedies, the human spirit possesses the resilience to forge a new beginning, a testament to the enduring capacity for strength, redemption, and the pursuit of healing in the aftermath of life's most profound challenges.